All right, we're live. Live from New York. It's Saturday. I'm just kidding. All right, great guys. Awesome. We are going to start a little bit earlier, uh, because we're going to start cutting this a little bit from an hour to 30 minutes. Just making sure that we get a lot of information. We can help you guys figure out. All right, my name is Jader Salazar. I am the founder of Black Label Closers. This is an organization dedicated to helping people become closers, highly effective closers. I've done this for 24 years. We started back in 1999. I've owned three companies. One of my companies was the fastest growing company in the state of Utah by the Chamber of Commerce. I've trained over 3,000 people and helped over 15 companies find their mojo in the high ticket sales arena. And last company I just took, they were making at best $4,000 a week, and now they're generating $200,000 every week. I came in, changed the entire approach, showed them how it's done, give them all the strategies, train all their people, and within less than a month and a half, we were putting $60,000 on the board. Then $100,000 subsequently. They got to $200,000. All right, so I got the experience, the credentials. You can come to our community on School, SKOOL. You're going to be able to sign up for our free course, completely packed with value. You guys can go there and check it out for yourselves. Start the conversation, start asking questions, guys. I know that some people say, but you're not dropping anything there. Well, the student has to be more motivated. You guys are the. I've already made 6-7 figures in this business, in this industry, right? You guys are the ones who need the help. So you guys go in there and you start doing what you do best as a student, is asking questions, right? The teacher appears when the student wants to learn. All right. So drop questions. We can start the narrative, the conversation there. We got a $97 course. This is a $1,000 value, and I want to give you more value because I know a lot of people are broke, and that's the reason why you guys want to stop being broke. But you got to make an effort, right? So I'll give you this $97 course that you can take, packed with value. Now, the free course has a lot of information, a lot of value in there. The $97 course, which is valued at $1,000, but you only pay $97. Trust me, guys, you're going to learn a lot of things there. All right. I'm not going to pitch you on another course there. I'm going to give you the information. Plus, you can go to school because you have to sign up to get the free course, right? You can go to school and ask as many questions as you need to, and I'm going to answer your questions. Plain and simple. Simple as that. And if you want to be aggressive, we have a partnership course, and I'm going to split you 50% on that one. All right. If you want to know more about it, hit me up. We can talk about it. It's called the partnership program, and you're going to be able to start selling high ticket right there and making money right there. So I've already designed something for you guys to start making money and not have to wait, exercise and put to practice everything I teach you, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of things today, guys. We don't really have a lot of time, so we're going to cover this quickly. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the mentality of a high ticket exceptional closer. I know. Well, these guys are going to start talking about the mentality. Well, what's high ticket in the process of selling high ticket if you don't understand the mentality? See, here's the problem with a lot of people that train for the public and they make a lot of sales, and then they go train people and they train a lot of people, and then just so you know, I took a whole team, like 7 people, that paid over $9,000 to a big name that trained them. Right. As a matter of fact, I remember that when I took this last company, and I took him from $4,000 to $200,000 a week. There was one of the guys that we hired came from one of these, probably the biggest name right now. You probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names. It's not polite. And they trained this guy, gave it to the guy that hired my services. This kid couldn't set. He couldn't set. He couldn't sell. He couldn't set. He couldn't close. And we hired more people like that coming from the same brand. None of them could even. I mean, they sold things in the past. Like there was one guy, and he came from a big name, and he was selling for that same company, selling training, sales training. But so they had a $12,000 or $15,000 program, right? And what happened was he was only collecting $1,000 to $2,000. He didn't understand how to collect 100% of the ticket. When he found out how you sell Highticket, he couldn't believe. He said, I could have tripled. Instead of making $50,000 or $60,000 that I was making, I could have made $200,000, $300,000 with what you. I got the testimonials, guys. They're right there. All right. I'm not just saying this because I think because I'm want to impress the heck out of you. They're right there. You can go to blacklabel.com, right? And go look at the testimonials. So why is it that some people, even if they go through a training, because I had a lot of people go through the same training, I would train people, same principles, right? Same teacher, and some people would not be able to do it. I don't care how great of a trainer you are. I don't care how great of a trainer. I consider myself to be highly effective in sales, highly effective training people. I pour my entire heart when I train people. But I got to be honest, no trainer in the world is going to be able to turn anybody into a highly effective closer. It just doesn't happen. 20% of the world's salespeople make 80% of the money. So 80% of those salespeople out there are making 20% of the money. 80% is going with the top dogs, whatever that means. I hate that term, top dog. To me, it doesn't mean, and we're going to talk about that. But anyway, let's call them top dogs. 20% of the people in sales make 80% of the money. So what's the mentality? What is that? What do you have to do? What has to happen for you to be massive in sales? Let me just say hi to some people just came in, and it would be very rude if someone come to my house and I don't say hi. So Marco, thank you for coming, man. Hello. Yo is right here, and Rosa is here as well. Hi, Rosa. Thank you. You guys are welcome. Anytime. All right. Anytime, you guys are welcome. All right. So mentality is everything. First, highly effective salespeople understand exactly. Somebody just asked me a couple of days, do you understand what a top dog is? And even though I feel uncomfortable with the term top dog, because I believe top dogs are the type of toxic individual whether man or woman, very toxic individuals. Yes, they're competitive, and they win in competitions because that's what they like. But they're not truly alpha alpha creatures. They're just top dogs. They're looking for a fight constantly. They don't want to help other people. They're always looking for their benefit in anything they do. They just want to find their benefit, and they're going to squeeze you to get what they want without having regard for you or having any regard for anybody else. They're always people that are looking to win. It's kind of the guy. I don't know if you've seen athletes running a race, and one of the athletes loses it and drops, and the guy who's second, that right? Let's say the guy that faints or passes out is first. The guy right next after the second in formation, instead of stopping and helping his peer, he takes advantage of that moment to go and take the crown. That's the top dog. That's what people refer to the top dog. Let me tell you what an alpha creature does, an alpha male, an alpha woman. A true alpha male or woman or female would stop, hail the person just who's passing out, respect the fact that person was coming in first, and help him out. Even if you take the crown, even if you say, I'm going to help you out, but whatever you did didn't prepare you good enough, didn't help you good enough to be able to end the race. That's part of winning, is you're physically fit. But at least you help him out and you get him to the end of the line. That's an alpha. Top dogs are just looking for a fight. So if you want to be a highly effective closer, let me tell you what is the difference in practical terms between an alpha creature, man or female, male or female, or in a top dog, is that the top dog is going to make a lot of cells equal to the alpha creature, alpha male or alpha woman. But the alpha male would not have as many refunds as the top dog. I've experienced this myself. So one time I was working for this company, and this guy, we were neck and head to head, right? We were right there, neck and neck, right? And he comes to me and he's bragging because he's a whole month he's been, taking the lead for, I don't know, maybe $20,000, by $20,000, $10,000, whatever. And he comes to me, rubs it in my face. And I said, okay, so you think you're selling more than me. And I knew exactly what kind of guy he was on the phone. And I said, why don't we just look at refunds? And we went to the refund stats. His refund rate was 10%. My rate was at 1%. So at the end of the day, I was way ahead of the game, way ahead of him, because he was putting the numbers on the board, but he was not sustaining those numbers. I was, right? So I took a little bit longer with the customer, with the prospect. I had better conversations with the wife. I didn't dismiss them. I didn't dismiss their inquietudes or objections. I made sure that I didn't ignore anything about, and that's what I do, and that's what I teach people, is how to be genuine and be there for the call. That's why one of the things that I tell you guys is never just say lines to rebuttal people automatically. Think of the rebuttal. Think of the reason why they're giving you an objection. If someone is giving you an objection, that's a good buying sign. They're giving you a good buying sign, guys. All right? But if you want to be a top tier salesperson, an executive, an exceptional salesperson, not only do you have to play the role actively on the call, whether in person, on video, or on the phone, you have to be playing the role and being top notch behind the scenes. If you're not being physically active, I don't care how good you are. If you smoke a lot, if you're, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not walking at least a reasonable amount of meters or yards, whatever you call them, a day to keep yourself fit, you cannot keep your mind fit. You have to eat healthy. I'm not saying you can't have your burgers here and there, whatever, but make sure, because selling is an exhaustive activity. It really is. And if you're working 8-10 hours per day, you got to give yourself rest, but also exercise. And from time to time, you got to take the day off. You got to take your day off, right? Or your vacation, right? If you make good money, if you're making $300,000, you can afford to take a 3-week vacation with your family anywhere in the world. Just do it. If you feel burned out because you've been working exhaustively and you fall into a fluke where you're not closing effectively like you can, get off the phone, go drink water, walk it off, think about it, shake it off, get back on the phone. Motivation, guys. Motivation is good to pick up momentum. You pick up momentum when you have motivation. But motivation is short-lived. Motivation is that boost, like when you're racing cars on the streets and you have nitro, right? You push the button, the red button, and it gives you that boost. Sooner or later, that tank is going to be empty. What do you do when you're empty of motivation? So the only thing that beats motivation, or the only thing that can be sustainable in the process of becoming successful and being effective, especially selling high ticket, which means being an entrepreneur, is consistency. And to have consistency, you have to have discipline. You got to do things when you don't want to do things. You got to do things when you don't want to do things. That's just the way it is. All right? So consistency is the name of the game. You're consistent, you're going to be able to bring it home. All right? If you want to, go to the gym 3 times a week, do it. There are 4 things that you have to make sure you meet before becoming financially successful. Number 1, you got to find your higher power. I don't care what it is. The universe, God, Buddha, I don't know. Whatever it is, you have to have a higher power. You have to ask for help. And sometimes people equal to you cannot give you that help. You need to go to a spiritual place. Second, you got to be mentally healthy. It takes a lot of energy. 1,000 negative thoughts, only 100 positive thoughts during the day, right? If you reflect, because the number of thoughts of negative thoughts is bigger than the number of positive thoughts, well, you're going to be positive, you're going to be negative, because that's going to be the reflection of what you do on the inside. But if you live on your positive side, you're going to have a healthy mind, you're going to make healthy decisions, and you're not going to get as tired. You have to have a healthy mind to make money. Third, you have to have physical success. You have to be active physically. I don't care if you're 19 or you're 60. I don't care. You got to be physically active. It takes a lot of energy. This is your Formula One cart or car, whatever vehicle, whatever they call it, right? Get in there, and just because you're not running doesn't mean you're not running. You're throwing punches. You're going at it. I don't know what you're doing. Whatever it is that you're doing in your station, you're doing something that's going to exhaust you physically. Trust me, I know. Especially when you have a streak and you can't close. You got 3 in a row that you can't close. Man, that's like punching the air, right? Like if you're fighting and you just punch the air, you give everything you got and you punch, boom, you couldn't close. It's exhausting, guys. I know. I've been there, right? All right, quickly. Let's go to why. I didn't tell you the last one. Be socially successful, guys. Don't hang out with people that bring you down. Use negative comments to make you stronger. That's it. Don't stay in there. Don't stay in there. All right? Or having meaningless conversations. I'll tell you a story. One of my best friends, man, my best friend in the world. And we graduated together from college, and we didn't see each other for 20 years. But we kept talking on the phone. Every time we picked up the phone and we talked, we were just having meaningless, stupid conversations. Just stupid conversations. Stupid. We never nourished our friendship. We never talked about something smart, something productive, especially because his personality is very, anyway, in mine too, two very willed personalities. And then we met finally for 20 years. It didn't work out. We just hated each other. We just couldn't stand it because we never nourished our friendship. So if you're going to hang out with someone who doesn't have anything smart and intellectual to share with you, don't hang out with that person. Always be actively having smart conversations, being able to offer counsel and learning from others. And remember, never hang out in the room where you're the smartest, all right? Never try to be the smartest person in the room. Try to equate the level of smarts, and then once you do that, look for the next level, all right? All right. Let's go to the next place. Next point is, so there are 4 types of people I want to talk to right now. And I'm going to go one by one. So I want to talk to the young guy who's thinking, I'd love to go to college, get a college degree, but it's too expensive. It takes too long. I can take that time, maybe that money, and put it to work so that I can be successful and possibly be a millionaire by the time I'm 25. I want to talk to the guy who's 30, who already went to college, didn't go to college, right? And is struggling because even though you have a degree or you have a trade, you haven't found a place or the opportunity to move up in the ranks to be able to make at least $150,000. I want to talk to the guy who's 45, who's starting to look at retirement and say, I have nothing. I've made money enough to be able to pay the bills and take care of my family, but that's it. I want to talk to the guy who's in the 50s. And now you're outdated. AI is going to replace everybody, guys. Everybody except in one of the fields that will not be replaced by AI is high-ticket sales. I'm gonna kill this myth because a lot of people say sales will be yes, a lot of sales will be replaced by automated AI robots. But let me tell you why high ticket, at least not in the immediate future, within the next 20, 50 years. Here's the reason why. Try to find AI Try to get AI to really understand us humans and the experience of being a human being. Try to get him to understand that. Try to get him to um, assimilate some of the experiences that we have as human beings. I don't care how smart it is. It's not going to happen. Because alternative education is going to go all out from this point on. It's a $50 billion a year industry within the next 2 years is going to reach the $250 billion mark, if not higher. That means everyone is going to have to learn from another person some sort of trade, whether to be in real estate investing, whether to be in oil investing, whether to be in Airbnb, Bitcoin, e-commerce, Amazon sales, I don't care, all that stuff. It's coming, and we need, and the people that have the money, I'm talking about the people that will buy these programs, are between the ages of 30 and 60. Those people do not want to buy from AI. They don't want AI. I know that all the kids are crazy about AI. That's for later generations. But right now, we need to provide and supply the service for those people that think like we do. All right. Great. AI is a great tool. I agree. Right. But it's not going to replace us. At least not within the next 20, 50 years. I know that. So right now is the time to learn the trade, to go and sell it to the people that have the money, right? Because that's who you're going to sell, right? How are we going to sell or generate the $250 billion within 2 years? We need salespeople. That's going to be, and not to mention, we might go through another lockdown period. We might. I'm not saying I know this. I'm just suspecting. All right. The world is going through crazy things right now. All right. It is practical because if you wanted to go to college, so let's talk about the 19-year-old or 20 or 18 or whatever. You want to go to college. It's too expensive. All right. Why don't you just make that decision while you're making a couple of $100,000 a year? You learn how to sell Highticket. It takes you, 3 months to learn? You become highly competitive. You position yourself in an account that pays you $10,000 or 15% per every $10,000 sell. That's $1,500. You sell 4 of those a week. That's $6,000. At the end of 4 weeks, 1 month, that's $24,000. That's $288,000 at the end of the month. I'm sorry, at the end of the year. And now you can make a decision. All right, it wouldn't hurt if I have a degree, but I'm making a couple $100,000. I can spare, let's say that you're making $200,000. You start going to college. Your income is going to be cut down by $50,000, $150,000. You'll be doing okay. Same thing if you're 30, you have a degree, you don't have a degree, but you're not making the money that you want to make, right? Easy. You don't have the time anymore to go back to college. Maybe some of you do, but why? 4 years? 5 years? And then what? Get a job at a company and wait for them to promote you until you make $100,000? Why don't you just find the way to be able to learn that? Within 3 months, you learn how to sell Highticket. Boom. You get into a job. There are plenty to, you know how many jobs are open right now? People looking for closers right now, actively, where you can come in and just right off the bat start averaging $200,000. They're all over the place. Why are these people not doing AI? Because it doesn't work. Even if AI could do our job, if I find out that I'm being pitched by an AI robot, I'm going to be like, no, thank you. I want someone to talk to me. I want real human contact. It's a fact, guys. It's a fact. Okay. If you are 45 and you're looking at your life and you're starting to see that around the corner you're going to be 60, because in 15 years you're going to be 60, and you got no money, Social Security is probably not going to be there for you. What are you going to do? You need to learn fast. You got no options. The older you get, the less options you have, and the bigger the catch-up game you have to play. You have to play catch-up. You got to play catch-up. All right? Now, anyway. So, if you're 50, 55, it's a no-brainer. You're being outdated. I mean, need I explain this? I don't. So, what's the age group that needs this the most? Anybody within the ages of 16 and 65. That's it. All right. It doesn't take. How much does it take to go to college, man? Come on, it's overrated. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm not gonna be Mr. Kurt. What's his name? Kurt. I think the guy has good things when he talks about college. Like he doesn't have attorneys and accountants in his companies that went to college, graduated. Come on, you're not gonna empirically learn that. You need professionals. We need attorneys. We need architects. We need doctors. We need all those people. Right? We need all those. Somebody's making a comment here. Let's see. Hi, Mars. How are you? All right. Somebody was saying hi. Guys, my name is Jader Salazar, the founder of Black Label Closers. You can join our community on school.com. You can sign up for our free course, which is truly, truly valuable. It has good information. I mean, excellent resources. Then you can sign up for our $97 course, which is valued at $1,000. But I'm giving it to you because I know you guys, a lot of you are broke and you need some sort of rescuing. $97. You got to make a sacrifice. I'm not going to do for you guys what you're not willing to do for yourselves, right? So $97. Start learning. And if you want to be more aggressive, we can talk about becoming partners. You and me becoming partners so that you can start selling high ticket. All right. Yeah, I got 50, right? We have webinars, open house training for high ticket sales every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Don't miss it. I mean, the school community, if you guys sign up for the free course, now you can come and start asking questions, and I can guide you and coach you there as well. Pantera's here, amazing. Thank you, Pantera. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Pantera. Thank you, Mars. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Yoey. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in, hanging out with me. So, 3 reasons why high ticket is the most practical thing to do right now. Number 1, doesn't take 4 years, but in 3 months, you can be a professional. Number 2 is the fastest way to position yourself in the 6-figure type of range of income. Last but not least, it's going to go from $50 billion a year of a business to $250 billion in the next 2 years. And everybody has to do it because AI is going to replace just about everybody. I mean, can you believe one thing, guys? In the near future, I couldn't have started at the best at a better time. In the near future, I'm gonna have surgeons signing up for high ticket because surgeons are gonna lose their job. I guarantee you. I already saw a report, a news report on it. Surgeons will not be practicing what they went to college for, and because they're going to be replaced by AI. A robot is going to be a lot more surgical than than a surgeon in surgery because they don't have a pulse, they don't breathe, they don't take breaks. If you're a truck driver, imagine what AI is going to do with your job. All right, guys. Thank you very much for attending this open house. Sign up for school. Do the right thing. Let's get this community bigger and going. Guys, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.